Today we will discuss integumentary system. Well, integumentary system. This is the outline, definition of integument, function of integumentary system, layer of skin, epidermis, dermis, hypodermis, types of skin color, hair, nail, and glands. This is objectives. Define what integument means, describe layers of skin, list types of cells, and just like that. Now this is integumentary system. In this course we will talk about the integumentary system. So if you remove your skin from your body, it seems like just like this. So this is the largest organ in the body. It's very vast and extensive. So now we will talk about this organ. This is known as skin. Skin with associated appendages is considered as integumentary system. For instance, like glands, hairs, nails, in addition to or connected with or associated with skin is known as integumentary system. That means skin associated with other appendages. Now the integument. The skin that covers our body is known as integument. Skin is also known as cutaneous membrane. The integument system consists of: one is the skin, the other is associated appendages or derivatives. So as I told you, skin plus appendages or derivatives is called integumentary system. Appendages or derivatives are sweat glands. Sweat gland divides into two: apocrine gland and eccrine gland, or merocrine gland, sebaceous gland or pseudophorus gland, hairs, and nails. Whereas skin is known as some books they will classify skin as three layers, like epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis. But in this context, skin will be considered as two prominent layer, like epidermis and dermis are considered as skin, but hypodermis it's a separate layer which considered as superficial fascia of gross anatomy. So it's considered as a superficial fascia in this case. So epidermis and dermis are considered as skin. Skin plus appendages are known as integumentary system. It is considered to be the largest organ in the body. Integument consists of approximately 60% of the total body weight. As mentioned earlier, for instance, blood weighs about 8%, muscle about 40%, and like that. This integumentary system is weighs about 60% of the body. So now we are just looking functions of the skin. Skin will used for protection. It helps us to protect our body from mechanical injury. Skin also used as for physical and chemical prevention of pathogenic injury. So it prevents either chemicals or physical materials from entering to our body. So the other function of skin is prevention of water loss. Skin also used as to minimize the water loss. The other is skin also used for temperature regulation, so sweating. The other is metabolic regulation, and skin also used for immune defense due to their cells. Skin contains specialized cells that used for immune defense. The other is sensory reception. Skin is used for general sensation. Neural tissue supports and monitors sensory receptors in the skin. So since sensory receptors in the skin, there is sensory receptors of neural tissue in the skin. Skin also used as sensation, like touch sensation. So the other is excretion. Skin used for excretion, like sweating, used to excrete sweating, like other oil material like sebaceous glands and the like. And also skin is used for looking to be looking good. By the way, skin is used as to indicate one's person beautiness, whether he's red or white, whether he's red or black, whether his face is attractive or not, colorful or not. So by looking the person's skin, just we will appreciate his color or beautiness or handsomeness or like that. So skin quality, color also used for to judgment goodness of the one's person appearance. So the other is the connective tissue contain blood vessels that provide nutrients and provide strength and resilience to the skin. So skin has connective tissue. So in the connective tissue also there is blood vessels. These blood vessels provide nutrients to the skin, and also the connective tissue is for strength and provide strength and resilience to the skin. Then there is also smooth muscle in the skin. This smooth muscle controls both blood vessel diameter as well as hair position. Like hair position is like erector pili muscle is used for hair position or to erect the hair, and also the other smooth muscle is used for to adjust the diameter of the blood vessels. So all these are the functions of the skin. So skin has just like these functions. Now we will see layers of the skin. As mentioned earlier, some books considered the skin as 3 layers: epidermis, dermis and hypodermis. In this case we will consider as 2 principal layers like epidermis and dermis. Hypodermis are considered as a separate layer which contains fat or adipose tissue, connective tissue, or in gross anatomy as we say superficial fascia. So hypodermis is a layer of areolar or adipose connective tissue located deep to the dermis. So first we can find dermis, the epidermis, then we can get dermis, then hypodermis is the deepest layer. So this is the epidermis. This is epidermis. From this one up to this one is dermis. So this layer is, we can consider as papillary layer of dermis. From this and this is the vastest layer or the widest diameter is considered as reticular layer of dermis. Finally, this fat accumulated area is known as hypodermis. It is considered as the superficial fascia of the body. So this is the skin, this is hairs, this is hair shaft. So hairs, this is hairs, this is like sebaceous glands, and this is merocrine or eccrine glands or sweat glands. So this is blood vessels like artery and vein. So all these conditions make up the integumentary system. So now we can see the first layer is epidermis. The first layer of the skin is epidermis. Epidermis is the outermost layer of integument. The outer layer of integumentary system or integument or skin is known as epidermis. So epidermis has, by the way, there is devoid of blood vessel. Devoid means absent. Devoid means there is no blood vessel on the epidermis. So it is avascular. Avascular means there is no blood vessel. Epidermis or epidermis, the origin of epidermis, the embryonic origin of epidermis is ectodermal. That means not mesodermal or endodermal. So epidermis is a keratinized, stratified squamous epithelium. So the tissue is epidermis is made up of keratinized, stratified squamous epithelium. So Epidermis consists of four types of cells. These cells also are arranged either in 4 or in 5 distinct layers. So by the way, we will have 4 types of cells and we will have 4 or 5 types of layers. Why we say just 4 or 5 type of distinct layers? Because like palms and soles have they are thick, they are hard, thick. So in the case of soles, our sole of the foot and palms of the hand have 5 layers. So but because they are hard, they are thick, because most of the time they are exposing for friction. Due to that, they contain 5 layers. But in the case of all other than palms and soles, all over the body contains 4 layers. So because of less friction, so there are 4 layers. Even individual layers are more thinner than as compared to the other thick parts of the body. So this is the other comparison is by the way, stratum lucidium. This stratum lucidium layer is a layer which is differentiates either 4 or 5 layers, meaning stratum lucidium is absent in the palms and soles. Found on the palms and soles. So palms and soles have 5 distinct layers due to stratum lucidium. But all over other than palms and soles, they contain 4 distinct layers because they lack stratum lucidium layer. So this is a difference. So now we will see 4 types of cells and layers. So before that, I will show you this clear picture. First, this is epidermis, means this is epidermis. This layer is above this layer is epidermis. So from this layer up to this layer is dermis. Dermis also can be classified into 2. The first, this tiny layer is known as papillary layer of dermis, and from this up to this one is known as reticular layer of dermis, but this one is known as hypodermis. Hypodermis is it's identified by contains aerial connective tissue plus this accumulation of fats. But in the case of dermis, this is dead cells. But in the case of epidermis, dead cells. But in the case of dermis, most appendages of the skin are found in the dermis layer, like this. This is skin follicles, or roots of the hair is found. Hair follicle is found on the dermis layer. Papillary, erector pili muscle, glands like sebaceous gland, this is and merocrine gland, sweat glands, nerves. Most blood vessels and arteries, nerves are mostly found on the dermis layer. So this is all about this one. This is hair. This is hair shaft. This is root. This is hair follicle. We will see later in detail. So we will have epidermal cell types. As I told you, 4 types of cells. The first cell is keratinocyte cells. This is used to maintain structure of the skin, So this is keratinocyte cell. The second type of cell is melanocytes or pigment cells. These cells are melanocyte cells used to give pigment for our hair and skin. To make, for instance, whites are white. We Africans are also black because of this skin pigment. The other is Merkel cells. Merkel cells are used for sensation. So Merkel cells are Merkel cells used for tactile stimulation. For sensation because of having nerve endings. The fourth type of cell is known as Langerhans cells. this is immune cells used for phagocytes of different debris and bacteria. So we do have these 4 important cell types. These cell types also arranged in different layers. By the way, if this skin is considered which is found on the palm or soles, we will consider 5 types of layers, from the deepest layer of the skin to the superficial part of the skin. If we are coming from the deepest layer to the superficial layer, the first deep layer is stratum basale. This stratum basale, this layer is known as stratum basale layer. It's a single layer of cuboidal cells in contact with basement membrane that undergo mitosis. By the way, which is a very important thing, is that this single layer is important for mitosis. That means which undergo cell division, used for mitosis and undergo cell division. The other part is contains pigment, produce melanocytes. Very important thing is this one. So this layer or stratum basale, the one is used for cell division or mitosis. The second is used for pigment production because it contains melanocyte cells. Okay, melanocyte cells. So this is layer is known as stratum basale. But the second inner type of the cell is stratum spinosum. Stratum spinosum having several layers of cells with central located nuclei. This from this up to this, how many layers? 1, 2, 3, 4. So many layers contain. So the nucleus is from this is for instance nucleus. The nucleus is the centrally located from the cell. So centrally located nuclei, large oval nuclei. So spine-like processes, limited mitosis. So in this area, the cell division function also decreases and stops. Okay, having limited mitosis, limited cell division in this area. So the third type of layer is known as stratum granulosum. This is stratum granulosum. Is this one is stratum granulosum, composed of either 1 or 2 or more layers. This 1, 2, 3 layers, or either 1 or more layers of granular cells that contain fibers of keratin and shriveled nuclei. By the way, having some levels of keratin in this layer, and as you observe it, as you see it, the nucleus is shriveled. So in some extent, the nucleus is constricted. It doesn't seem like just like this. So this layer is known as stratum granulosum. So the fourth layer is stratum lucideum. So a thin clear layer found only in the epidermis of lips, palms and soles. Please be careful that this layer is known as stratum lucideum, which is found only in the lips, palms, soles of epidermis. So in other words, other than lips, palms and soles, this layer is absent. So we can say that skin has 4 layers. But for this organs, we can say that skin has 5 layers. Okay, so stratum lucideum is absent in the thick skin, like these thick skins. So the other is stratum corneum. Stratum corneum is the superficial layer. The superficial layer consists of many layers of keratinized dead cells. Yeah, this is dead cells because there is no nucleus here. Okay, and also more keratinized. So keratinized dead cells that are flattened. It is flat. So non-nucleated, non-nucleus. There is no nucleus, and it is cornified. Okay, cornified. So this is the outer layer of the skin which we are touching. For instance, if you touch your dorsum of the hand, your touch area is it's stratum corneum. Okay, stratum corneum, which is the superficial layer of epidermis. Okay, the superficial layer of epidermis. So please keep in your mind these layers. For instance, so this is 5 layers, so because it's found on the palms or soles or lips. But this is, for instance, the skin, which is all other parts of the body. having 4 layers: stratum basale, spinosum, granulosum and corneum. So there is no lucidium. Okay, so this is thin skin. This is thin skin. So this is thin skin. Others are the same. This is epidermis. This is dermis. This is fat area. The yellow one is fat. Okay, adipose tissue. This is fat area, and also there is blood vessels, artery and vein. This is vein, this is artery. Also this area, this vast area is dermis, which contains, this is hair bulb, the enlarged part is hair bulb, this is hair follicle. So hair follicles found in the dermis, and glands found on the dermis, and also these nerves and blood vessels also found on the dermis, and muscles also found on the dermis. So this is sweet pore. This is sebaceous gland. Nice. Now the second type of layer of the skin is known as dermis. Dermis is mesodermal origin. As you said, epidermis is ectodermal origin, but dermis is mesodermal origin, based on its embryonic origin. So dermis is a deeper layer of dense irregular connective tissue containing collagen and elastic fibers. So dermis is different from the epidermis because it is dense, irregular, contains this deep layer. It is deep, and it contains dense irregular connective tissue containing collagen and elastic fibers. So it is located below epidermis, and it is basement membrane. So dermis is found below epidermis, and it is associated basement membrane. Blood vessels, nerves, and glands like sweat gland, sebaceous glands, hair follicles are embedded in the dermal layer. So this layer is considered. These organs, these appendages are found in the dermal layer. Majority of appendages of the skin are contained within dermis, like glands, hairs, and blood vessels and nerves are found on this dermal region. This is dermal region. Okay, this is epidermal region. This is hypodermal region. Next, litmus dermis. This is dermis can be classified into two. One is papillary region. The other is reticular region. So this is papillary region. This is the reticular region. Papillary region is the superficial portion of the dermis. It weighs about 1/5 of the dermis. So consists of areolar connective tissue with thin collagen fiber and fine elastic fiber. And it contains dermal papillae. That house blood capillaries, corpuscles of touch, and free nerve endings. So the papillary region is okay. Let me show you on that. Papillary region is this is papillary region. This is reticular region. On papillary region, there are this area is known as dermal papilla, which is found on the papillary region. So this dermal papilla contains corpuscles of touch and nerves and associated structures. But in this area, the collagen and elastic fiber is fine. It's thin. Okay, it is thin. So fine elastic fiber, collagen fiber is also thin. Dermal papilla contains capillary, corpus of touch, and free nerve endings. But reticular region is deeper portion of the dermis. This is deeper than reticular region is deeper than papillary region. So it is 4/5. This one is 1/5. So consists of, this is thin collagen fiber, but reticular region is dense irregular connective tissue with bundles of thick collagen and coarse elastic fiber. This is thin. This is fine elastic fiber. This is coarse elastic fiber. This is thick collagen fiber. This is thin collagen fiber. Okay, this one is more thicker. So spaces between fibers contain some adipose cells. Adipose means fat cells, but and also hair follicles, 1, 2, nerves, 3 sebaceous glands, pseudoriferous glands or sweet glands, and blood vessels. It's very nice. So reticular layer contains adipose cells, hair follicles, nerves, sebaceous gland, and blood vessels. So this is hair follicles, this is nerves, this is arteries and blood vessels, and this is sebaceous glands, and this is sweet glands or Exocrine glands. So this is also sweet gland. This is a rectal perimeter. These all are found on the reticular layer. Okay, reticular layer. So reticular layer is the vast layer, or it's very having wide diameter as compared to papillary region. So papillary region plus reticular region is considered as the layers of dermis. So hypodermis is the layer of loose vascular connective tissue infiltrated with adipocytes. Adipocytes means fat cells. Okay, fat cells. So fat cells. So after this layer, above this layer is dermis, but this layer is known as hypodermis. This is white is fat, white region is fat. Let me show you this indirectly. This one is hypodermis. So this yellow is fat. Okay, the yellow one is fat. So also there is blood vessels also they contain. The other is, it corresponds to superficial fascia of gross anatomy. Yeah, in gross anatomy there is skin, then below skin there is fascia. Fascia also divided into two. The one is superficial fascia, the other is deep fascia. So superficial fascia is corresponds or similar to hypodermis. So it's a separate layer of skin in this context. So hypodermis is important for store energy or fat, and provides insulation for the body, and padding, used for padding, insulation, and to store energy and fat. Okay, or fat. So this is the function of hypodermis. The other function is fastens, or it connects the skin to the underlying muscles and structures. Connects the skin, the fat or hypodermis layer connects the skin with underlying muscles or other structures like bone and other structures. Okay, this is the other function of hypodermis. Skin types. Now we do have two types of skin. The first one is thick skin, the second one is thin skin. By the way, thick skin is found on the soles of the feet, on the leg and palms of the hand, and corresponding fingers and toes. So hand, palms of hand, and feet or soles of foot or feet are considered as thick skin. So in thick skin there is no hair follicles, also there is no sebaceous gland, there is no hair muscle. Hair muscle is known as erector pili. By the way, erector pili is a hair muscle which used to erect which erects the muscle. By the way, in some animals, for instance, if you take goat, in the case of winter or rainy or chilly, their hair is erect. Their hair is became loose and erect. But in the case of shiny, their hair is it becomes normal. Okay, it becomes normal or semi-folded. So erector pili muscle is used for to move the hair, so there is no hair in the case of thick skin, and also consists of 5 epidermal layer. Okay, as we have discussed. The other is thick skin. Thick skin is found everywhere in the body. Okay, everywhere except feet and palm. They found everywhere the body, like our chest, abdomen, back, leg, something like that, containing only 4 layers. That means there is no stratum lucidum. The remaining 4 layers other than stratum lucidum is also, they are thinner than thick skin. Even if stratum lucidum is also minimized, they are also thinner. That is because of it is thin. So we named it thin skin. Okay, we named it thin skin. So the difference between thick skin and thin skin is this one. One is the area they covered. Two is whether absence or presence of sebaceous gland, hair follicle, hair muscle, like that. The other is the number of layers. The number of layers and the thickness of the skin is their determines their difference between thick skin and thin skin. The other is skin color. By the way, these three pigments or these three colors like melanin, hemoglobin, carotene are three pigments that impart a wide variety of colors to the skin. So our skin color is determined by the amount of melanin, hemoglobin, carotene we have. So to get the next video, or to get this integumentary system, but to get other chapters or units of anatomy course or other type of course like epidemiology and other courses, you can subscribe this channel. The other is also, now we have seen skin, but now we are observing appendages of the skin. Appendages means associated structures of the skin that are hair, nails, skin glands. Hairs, nails, and skin glands. So skin glands are divided into two: sebaceous gland and sweat gland. Sweat gland also divided into two: exocrine gland or merocrine gland and appendages gland. Other type of glands are cereminous glands, ceruminous glands, mammary glands, modified apocrine. Sweat glands are other types of glands, but the common one is these two glands. We will see these two glands. So this is hair follicle, this is hair muscle, this is epidermis, this is dermis. So now from the appendages, now we will see the hair, then nail, then skin gland, then we will end up this chapter. So now we will cover hair. This is hair. So hairs are long, filamentous projections consisting of keratinized epidermal cells. So by the way, nail, hair, skin are keratinized. That's because they are thick. Hair is found almost everywhere in the body. Hair is found almost everywhere in the body, except in the palms, soles, lips, and portion of external genitalia. This means like glands penis. The glands penis, soles, lips, palms, except this region, hair is found everywhere in the body. So most of hairs on the human body are on the general body surface rather than head, meaning hairs found on general body surface is greater than hairs found on the scalp or on the head. Okay, but usually we see that more hair is found on the head, but more hair is found on the general body rather than the head. This slide says, or science says. So the keratin in both hair and nail is hard keratin. That's why they are hard. Okay, nail and hair is also hard. So hard keratin. The hair is made by living hair follicle in the region known as hair matrix. Yeah, this is hair follicle. Hair follicle also contains this is matrix. So hair follicle or this matrix with hair bulb is a living material used to produce the new hair. Okay, this hair is built in this region, so they will grow up, and if it is cut, they will grow from this hair follicle or hair matrix. The other is function of hair. Hair is used for protection. The other is heat retention. It prevents loss of conducted heat from scalp to the surrounding hair. The other is facial expression. Hair is also considered as our hair shape, our hair appearance is considered as facial expression. The other is sensory reception. By the way, if we are touching our hairs on different areas, it receives sensation. There is sensory reception, touch sensation, and also there is we have comfort when we are touching our hairs. So used as sensory reception. Now we'll see the kinds of now we are looking about the kinds of hair. We do have during our lives we produce 3 kinds of hair. The one hair is lanugo hair, the second is vellus hair, the third is terminal hair. So lanugo hair is a fine silky fetal hair that appears during the last trimester of development. This is the fetal hair. Vellus hair is produced in the children, so it's short fine hair that replaces lanugo. So this hair replaces this hair. So this is found in the children. So the last is terminal hair. This is coarse hair, pigmented hair, sometimes curly hair. So except most elderly people, they are pigmented. Terminal hair is pigmented. So they are found in the scalp, axillary area, pubic area, eyebrows, eyelashes, hair on extremities. All these are known as terminal hair. So in turn, terminal hair also classified into 2: angora hair and definitive hair. So these types of hair, when we are looking the structure of the hair, can be divided into 3: shaft, root, and bulb. So this is known as, this is shaft from this one up to this one is known as root, but this area is known as bulb. So hair can be 3 parts, having 3 parts: shaft, root, and bulb. This larger area is known as bulb. So shaft is a visible portion. Yes, this is visible portion. This is outside our skin, so we can touch it. So the visible portion which protrudes from the skin. It consists of 3 concentric regions. What shaft? If you cut it the shaft, we will see 3 regions. The inner region is medulla. This inner region is medulla. Then the next region is cortex, but the outer region is cuticle. So the second part of hair is known as root. Root is within the skin. Okay, this root is within the skin. The other is bulb. Bulb is enlarged base. This enlarged area is bulb. So it's found within hair follicle. By the way, this area is known as hair follicle. Within hair follicle there is hair matrix, and also this one hair bulb. So shaft, root, and bulb is the parts of the hair. So now we can see it in cross section. By the way, this is known as medulla. This layer is known as cortex, and this layer is known as cuticle, and also this layer is known as internal root tissues, this one, and also this layer is known as external root tissues, and this layer is known as glassy membrane. Finally, this layer is known as connective tissue sheath. This is better. Let me show you this way. This is known as medulla, and also this one is known as cortex, and this one is known as cuticle, and also this layer is known as internal root tissues, and also this layer is known as external root tissues. This one is known as glassy membrane. Finally, this layer is known as connective tissue root tissues. So this layer is known as it is concentric region of the hair, and from this up to this layer is known as follicle wall. This is known as the wall of follicle. And also this 3 is concentric region of the hair. From this one is concentric region of the hair. So now we are starting the second appendages. This is known as nails. Nails are scale-like modifications of the epidermis that form on the dorsal surface of the tips of the fingers or the toes. So they are found on the dorsal part or the dorsal surface of the fingers and the toes. So they are scale-like modifications of epidermis. So protect the exposed distal tips and prevent damage or distortion during catching or grasping. When you are sending your finger to some areas, or when you are catching, when you are grasping, skin protects our finger from damage. Nails, like hair, they are modified stratum corneum of the epidermis with hard keratin. So nails, hairs are composed of hard keratin because of their hard, because they became hard. So in this when we see this nail, this is nail body, this is free edge of the nail, the white part, and this is nail groove, and this is white one is lunula, white part is lunula. So this groove is known as hyponcale or cuticle. This is nail matrix proximal to hyponcale. This is nail matrix, this is the root of the nail, and this is nail fold, this is the hyponcale or cuticle, this is body of the nail, this is the bed of the nail, this is free edge of the nail. So nail structure, when we are observing structure of the nail having nail body, free edge, nail root, like this. So nail body means this one is nail body, it is visible portion, yes. Free edge means appears white, this one is free edge. The body and the nail bed appear pinkish because the underlying vascular tissue, this is body, but the underlying nail bed, when you are observing it becomes pink or red because of the vascular tissue underlying, because the vascular contains blood, so that reflects on the nail bed and the body of the nail, so it becomes or it seems pinkish. Pinkish. The other is nail root. Nail root is this one. It is proximal part and covered by proximal skin fold. So this is nail root. Nail growth originates from the root. Then it will grows. So cells became keratinized. So the nail growth starts from the root and nail matrix. So it will grow. It will grow. Nice. This one is a very important thing. I will revise this nail. This is nail root. Nail root is a portion that is not visible. It is covered by skin, so we are not observing nail root. So this is nail root. The other is hyponcale. Hyponcale is this layer, thick layer. This is, or another name is cuticle, is the stratum corneum of the epidermis. This is stratum corneum of epidermis. The other is this white. This white thing is lunula. Lunula is a thick white part of the nail. This is this red area is nail bed. So nail bed is the skin below the nail plate. This is nail plate. So the skin below the nail plate is known as nail bed. The other is nail body. This is nail body. From this up to this one is nail body. Is a visible portion of the nail. So we can touch it. We can see it. Okay, this area. So this visible portion is known as nail body. So this is the free edge of the nail. So extends past the finger or toe. So it precedes our finger or toe. The other is hyponcale. Secures nail to fingertip. This is fingertip. This is nail. So nail, a structure which connects or secures nail with fingertip is known as hyponcale. This is epidermis. This is dermis. So the other is nail matrix. This is, by the way, this is nail matrix. Nail matrix is the epithelium proximal to the nail root. This is nail root. This is nail matrix. So it contains dividing cells. Please, this nail matrix contains dividing cells, so which produce new nail cells. Okay, so new nail cells produced in this area, then the growth also starts from the root, nail root, and it will continues forward. Okay, it continues forward. So now it is this is the end of nail, the appendages, the second type of appendage, nail. But now we are starting the third type of appendage. It is known as exocrine glands of the skin. Exocrine glands of the skin. So now we will see. Now we are observing just exocrine glands. The first is sweat gland or cedar face gland. This gland, by the way, this is sweat glands. This is known as merocrine or eccrine glands. This is known as apocrine glands. This is known as sweat glands. Sweat gland produce watery solution that performs several specific functions. Sweat glands are epidermal derivatives. They are derived from epidermis. Okay, they are derived from epidermis. So distributed over the entire body except nipples and portion of external genitalia. By the way, sweat glands, they are found on the overall the body except the nipples of the breast and the portions of external genitalia. That means glans penis. Except glans penis and nipple, sweat glands are found all over the body. Okay, they are found all over the body. So this is sweat glands. These are sweat glands. By the way, two types of sweat glands. The one is merocrine or eccrine sweat gland and apocrine sweat gland. This is apocrine sweat gland. This is merocrine sweat gland. The one difference, they have many differences, but the one difference is merocrine sweat gland is drainage their secretion into the surface of the skin, to the epidermis, whereas apocrine sweat glands drainage their secretion into hair follicle, okay, into the hair. So this is one of structural difference. We will see the other differences later after one slide. Now let us see merocrine sweat glands. Merocrine sweat glands is a sweat gland. They are widely distributed and more numerous than apocrine glands. As compared to apocrine glands, merocrine gland is more numerous and they are found widely distributed over large surface of the body, especially prominent on the palms, soles, and forehead. So the very important thing is merocrine gland is used for thermoregulation. They are used for cool off the body. So because of sweating, during sweating they regulate our body and cooling the body. So merocrine gland is used for thermoregulation, whereas apocrine sweat glands there is no role in thermoregulation. So the pH of sweat gland is, the pH of sweat is 4 up to 6. So this is acidic, so it is bacteriostatic. So this becoming acidic is used to prevent bacterial reproduction and growth. So our sweating is more acidic. So if there is sweating, it doesn't favor the reproduction and the growth of the bacteria. That is it. So the second one is apocrine sweat glands. Apocrine sweat glands are larger, thicker than merocrine sweat glands, plus they have more lipids and proteins as compared to merocrine sweat glands. The other is apocrine sweat glands are becoming active at the puberty, secrete sweat during times of pain, stress, sexual activity. So unlike to merocrine glands, apocrine glands are sweated or produce sweat during pain, stress, and sexual activity. So there is no role in thermoregulation. This is the difference. Now we will revise about the two in this table. So this is merocrine gland or eccrine gland. This is apocrine gland. Based on size, eccrine gland is 0.4 mm diameter, whereas apocrine gland is 3 up to 5 mm diameter. Location, based on location, Exocrine gland or merocrine gland is found everywhere in the body, except some exceptions like glands and glands penis and on the breast, on the tip of the breast, like nipple. But this one is found on axillary, areolar, and anal region. So this is location difference. The other is site of opening. We have mentioned before. So exocrine glands, they secrete their secretions into skin surface or epidermis, whereas apocrine glands secrete their secretions into hair follicles. Okay, hair follicles. This is the main difference. The other is discharge content. Exocrine gland contain water, little protein, mainly water, sodium chloride, urea, NH3, and uric acid is on the exocrine gland, whereas this one is more viscous, thick, and odor producing. Okay, odor, that means this is odorful. This is mostly this is odorless, but this is odorful. Okay, especially on the axillary region, most people having odor because of this sweating. So innervation, this is cholinergic innervation, whereas this is adrenergic. So this is main underlying difference between merocrine, exocrine gland, and apocrine gland. So the second type of gland is known as sebaceous gland. This gland is producing oily material, like oil, that coats hair shafts. So this sebaceous gland produces hair secretion into hair follicles and epidermal surface, both into hair follicles and epidermal surface. So coats or covers hair shafts. So sebaceous gland is mostly they are connected with hair follicle. Okay, they are found associated with hair. So this is hair follicle. This is also sebaceous gland. So they are drained into hair follicles and the shaft. Okay, hair follicles and the shaft. So the main function is of sebaceous gland secretion is to lubricate hairs. They lubricate hairs. One, the other is cornified layers of the skin to minimize desiccation. So this oily, lipid-rich secretion is called sebum. By the way, in context, sebum is oily and lipid-rich secretion, but the secretions of sebaceous gland is called sebum. So this is hair bulb, this is hair follicle, this is hair matrix, and this is sebaceous gland. Sebaceous gland secretes these secretions. So the secretion of sebaceous gland is known as sebum. So it is secreted into hair follicle and shaft of the hair. So they are found in the dermis throughout the skin, except on the palms and soles. By the way, one, sebaceous gland within in the dermis layer. Second, in the dermis layer they are found all over the body except palms and soles. So please note that this and this is sebaceous gland, whereas this and this is sweat gland. This one is into hair follicle, so that this is apocrine gland. This is discharged into shaft or into the surface of the skin. So this is known as exocrine gland, sebaceous gland. So now we are summarizing our PowerPoints. Okay, it is better to summarize our PowerPoint. So integument consists of the skin and associated appendages in the body. So when we are saying appendages, they are sweat gland, sebaceous gland, hairs and nails. When we are skin, they are epidermis and dermis. Skin is the largest organ in the body. Epidermis is devoid of blood vessels, absence of blood vessels, composed of 5 layers in the thin skin. All 5 layers contain various amount of keratin. So in the case of thin skin, there is a small amount of keratin or tiny layer, but in the case of palms and soles, it is thick skin, so having 5 layers and also more keratinized. So this is not in mind. The other sweat glands may be exocrine or apocrine, or merocrine or apocrine. Sebaceous glands discharge their secretions onto hair shafts within hair follicles. Sebaceous glands. So they are absent in the palms and soles. They are absent in the palms and soles. Hair is comprised of, contains keratinized epidermal cells. Nails also contain modified stratum corneum of the epidermis and contain hard keratin. So nail cells continually proliferate and keratinize from stratum basale of the nail matrix. So from nail matrix produces new nail cells and in the stratum basale, and will replace the former one. This is all about the integumentary system. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for watching this video. So if you want to get the next videos, you can subscribe, comment, like, share, and comment about this video and the next video. So thank you very much for your attention.